The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone.
Hi everyone, it's Sophia Melonē, the Debt Demolisher, here to bring you the tools, tips, and tricks to help you manage your financial baggage the right way. In today's episode, I'm going to be taking you back into a flashback of a conversation that I had with myself back in last year of 2021. One of the things that people fail to realize is that when we are in the space of providing information, being a source of inspiration to others, there can be instances whereby we will need that encouragement ourselves. So I'm going to take it back and be real with you all about what I was experiencing during the deepest times of my life. So stay tuned and check out this conversation with me. Hello, I am Sophia Melonē, better known as the Debt Demolisher. And one of the things that I really feel is important to be transparent and open about is what's going on in my life, right? So this is a financial education channel. This is a channel where I normally share my story about the amount of debt that I've been able to pay off over the amount of years. I've been able to share maybe tips and tools and strategies and advice that can help folks gain a healthier relationship with their finances and get themselves out of debt. And although I love to share these types of stories and give this kind of advice, I really want you guys to see the inside of me, seeing what I'm kind of dealing with day in and day out, seeing how hard it is sometimes to live in this life. You try to be a source of inspiration, but at the same time, you're feeling miserable on the inside. You have things that you are battling and you just feel like, why am I even going through these things? And I want you guys to know that my life is not perfect, right? A lot of times people only show their highlights. People only show their highlights because they want you to see what's going on in their life in the moment, maybe to even bring you inspiration. But what about those who are feeling defeated? What about those times when you are restless? What about those times when you are literally sick and tired of the responsibilities that you have in your life? So today, I went out early this morning, got a manicure and a pedicure, much needed. And I came back in and I just took a nap. I went to the grocery store, got a couple of things, and I just came in and I slept on the floor. And when I woke up, I went into my office next door and it reminded me to flip my calendar. And so the calendar, I have a daily inspiration calendar, and the message for today is, don't be ashamed of your story. It will inspire others. Not only is this message fitting for today, it's printed on my favorite color, which is purple. And so I said, there's no better time than to just turn the camera on. Just turn the camera on and just start to talk and just share where I've been in my headspace. What are some of the things that I'm actually thinking of in terms of my life? What are some of the things that, not even that I desire, but what are some of the things that I say to myself? What am I thinking? Yesterday, or maybe the day before. No, it was yesterday. I ordered a diffuser, an aroma diffuser, and oh my gosh, the box just even smells amazing. So the box Smells amazing, but I already put it together and I have the diffuser going off right now. It has a little remote, which I think is pretty cool. So I can turn on the light and it'll change the mood. So it's really cool. Oh, this is so cute. I'll turn it around at some point so that you can see. Yeah, let me just show you now. See how it changes colors? That's so cool. Can you imagine how it's gonna be at night? Oh, it's gonna be so cool at night. But I bought this diffuser, and so I just have the essential oils going in my new little space, just to kind of give you guys a background. I've been a caregiver to my mom for a very long time, and I want to be careful. I want to be careful about the terms that I use and the labels that I give myself, because I realize that I kind of don't want to be a caregiver anymore. I feel like I'm at the place where I just want to be able to start living for my own life. I want to be able to just be free and just experience life without worrying, without having an added responsibility on my shoulder to say, oh, well, I have to do this, or I have to make sure that I do this, and I have to make sure that I do that. I just want to be, right? I don't want to be a label. I don't want to be a caregiver. I don't want to be a daughter. I don't want to be a friend. I don't want to be an employee. I don't want to be any of these things that label us to put us in a manner of executing in a way where we aren't being full in our biggest selves or feeling fulfilled in our biggest selves, right? Not being our authentic self. And I just want to be free. I want to be free. My mom has been staying with me since she was released from the hospital. So it's been quite a few months. Since she's been here, I've given her my bedroom. So she sleeps in my bedroom. And I was sleeping on the couch just up until a few days ago when my therapist finally talked some sense into my head and was like, you need to get a bed. Like, don't you deserve to sleep on a bed and get off the couch? And it didn't dawn on me until I was like, you know what? My therapist is right. Maybe I just need to clear out one of these rooms and just turn it into a little Serenity space for me. And it took me about a month to do it, you know, because my therapist told me this about a month ago, and I just literally put the bed together, you know, got the new furniture, cleared out everything that was in this room, which was a whole lot of stuff. And I like this little space, you know. This is the smallest room in my house, and it has now become my bedroom. It has now become my sleeping space. It has now become my aromatherapy space. It's now become my little place of sharing. I know oftentimes people want you to always be the way that you are, or always be the way that they've experienced you to be, always be available, always be willing to, you know, respond when they need you, always willing to just be there. Sometimes that can be a burden. And so now I'm in a space where I just do what I feel like. If I don't want to answer the phone, I won't answer the phone. If I don't want to check my text messages, I won't check my text messages. If I don't want to check my emails, I won't check my emails. If I don't want to go out, then I won't go out. You know, I'm just in a space of, I just need to do me time, right? And my life can't necessarily, revolve around other people. And I'm learning that. And it can be hard when you aren't, well, I'm not going to say when you aren't. It can be hard when you are no longer the person that people have once experienced. When you are no longer the person who you were to someone or in someone else's life. And what I've learned is that, we just have to respect people's wishes. We have to respect people's cycle in life. We have to respect what they're going through, right? Because my need or my want does not necessarily have to be someone else's responsibility to act upon. So now I'm going into this space of just thinking, what does it really mean to be a friend? And I'm not talking about in general, I mean for me. Like, how do I define friendship? What do I want friendship to look like? And what am I willing to do and be and experience as a friend? And I have to define that for myself so that I can make that clear to other people who maybe are already in my life or who will enter my life. Because I feel like I've changed. I feel like I am not the same person who I was a year ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I'm coming into my own, coming out of a depressed state. And now it's just like, I need to define life for me. I need to define friendships for me. I need to define, and I don't even want to use the word caregiving, but I have to use the word caregiving. For me, I have to define my work schedule. For me, I have to define my passions. For me, I have to define my spirituality for me and what my faith walk looks like. Because honestly, y'all, my faith walk has been weak. It's been weak. Because, listen, I feel like God is really going to take me through some things in this season. And I'm not ashamed of the fact that I fell into a depression. I'm not ashamed of the fact that I'm letting my mom run over me at this point, right? I'm not ashamed that, I'm not ashamed that I'm adjusting. I'm not ashamed that I'm not the person who I used to be. I'm not ashamed that, I can't be what people may have once experienced me as. I can't, I'm not ashamed anymore. I'm just at a space where I just want to be. I want to love me. I want to just be the best version of myself that I can be. Not for anyone else, but be the best version of me for me. and being true to myself at all times. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna actually journal about this. I have some really cool pens. I have my gratitude journal. I've already written in it for today while I was at the nail salon. I just kind of wrote out 10 things I was grateful for. Maybe certain things that we don't even think about on a day-to-day, but today it just came out quick. I was like boom, 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 and I had my 10 things down. I have my Fit Happens journal. So normally I kind of doodle in here. And let's see what the next blank page is. Yeah, sometimes I doodle in here, it just depends. But this is the message for today. Giving up on your goal because of one setback is like slashing your other 3 tires because you got a flat. Ooh, that's a message. I also have this All About Me journal. This was actually gifted to me by an amazing powerhouse, Melanie Oates. She's the founder of the nonprofit organization Here for a Reason. And she actually had, or her organization had put on a teaching series or a training series for their HFAR learning program. And they had a session on mental health for caregivers. And that session was so powerful. And one of the things that Melanie had gifted me with was this me journal, because that was one of the things that the facilitator suggested that we have, us as caregivers, is to have a binder for us, so me binder. And so she found this journal and she actually sent it to me. So I thought that this was very nice. And I just started in it. I'm not like rushing through it. So if I write out, you know, top 10 things I like about myself, I thought that was pretty cool. And then I'm looking back at what I wrote when they said to describe yourself. I realized like how harsh I was on myself. And so it says, who are you? Describe yourself. I said, I'm short-tempered, I'm irritable, I'm wishy-washy, I'm not a good friend, meaning that I'm unpresent, I'm a loner, I'm a poor communicator, I'm a liar, I'm not always honest and open, I'm insensitive to others' feelings, I'm a floor mat to others, indecisive, I'm a figure-it-outer, I'm unpopular, insecure, inconsistent, a workaholic, a hugger, a smiler, a helper, enabler, depressed. These were the things that I wrote down when I answered the question about who am I and how to describe myself. And this was maybe a month ago when I wrote this. And then the next part of the question said, well, how will others describe you? And I said that others would describe me as positive, always smiling, sweet, super smart, radiant energy, giving, always willing to help, and the go-to for personal finance, and hard on yourself or hard on self. Yeah. So it's interesting how we talk about ourselves, but then when we wonder what other people will say, or if we hear what other people will say about us, it can be very positive things, sometimes quite even the opposite of what we've said about ourselves. But that just goes to show how we show up towards other people versus how we show up internally. So if I know this about myself and I feel this about myself, I'm just not letting it be demonstrated or illustrated or shown to other people for them to be able to pick that up. Some people may pick it up. They may just not say it verbally to me because they don't want to be mean or seem mean. But, you know, I know that there's some things that I have to work on within myself. And I know that it's a journey. I know that I'm learning myself. I'm discovering myself. I'm still young, but I feel old. I feel like, you know, my life has just turned me into an old person. Sometimes I feel so used. Sometimes I feel so burnt out. Sometimes I feel like I'm going to be lonely for the rest of my life. Sometimes I feel like, you know, I'm unworthy of a lot of things. Sometimes I feel like people just want to take advantage of me. They just want to get whatever they can out of me. Sometimes I feel like, you know, I'm still stuck in survival mode. You know, anything that is tied to what can keep a roof over my head, then I'm full force, full-fledged, you know, sacrifice everything, giving it all up, giving it all away. Energy, time, sleep. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of share my headspace, where I've been. Yeah, I'm going to still talk about personal finance when I can, because honestly, sometimes I'm just mentally drained and I just don't even have the mental capacity to figure out, okay, I'm going to record tonight. Half the time, my mama's yelling in the background, so. Yeah. I think I'm going to just hit the light, watch my little aromatherapy station go off. That was my mom, if you heard that. And just chillax. Maybe read some self-empowerment cards. Yeah, let's do that. I want you to check out my station. Now, as you check out my station, I really wanted to be able to show you all what I was able to find to help me come into that space of realignment. And I literally used this space to create my Serenity room. I was going through a very tough time mentally while managing the cares of my mom while she was staying with me. It was a huge adjustment. And not only that, it was literally causing me to be at the lowest state of my life. And I really want to thank having a therapist and really having someone to speak to me and to let me know, like, hey, you are in this space temporarily, but you need to make sure that you're doing something for you. So literally the smallest bedroom in my home ended up becoming the room that I had to literally sleep in while my mom was staying with me. So whenever you feel like you need a space to just reset, whenever you feel like you need to just realign yourself because you're not feeling like yourself, take this into consideration and really have those conversations and develop a Serenity room for yourself.
The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melonē. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melonē. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia